Good morning, everybody. We'll be with you shortly. Good morning, everybody. We're getting going here in just a moment. The video edition of Full Rant Friday. Drop a comment or two. Let me know that you are here and watching. Of course, we start with Chuck Jansen. Just a few things. Let me get the streamer streaming, video servers serving, moving those electrons up to a higher orbit just to bring you the best entertainment here. Well, in crypto talk. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever in the world is you're coming to us from. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media universe. So glad to be hosting another episode of this award-winning show called DYOR Live. It is Friday. It's Full Rant Friday. We usually don't do anything video on Friday, but we're going to do a Full Rant Friday video edition here, give a little recap on the week, talk about the positive things that happened this week, and then we'll switch over to the X Spaces in about a half hour or so. Thanks for joining everybody. Normally Pedro's right over here, but he's going to show up in that screen any second now. I can hear him shuffling through the kitchen. Anyway, welcome everybody to the show. Welcome Chuck Jansen coming to us all the way from the great state of Oklahoma. Great state of Oklahoma voted properly. Speaking of voting, there was a voting here, 150, 180,000 people or so voted for the next Prime Minister of Canada out of a country of 40 million. That person, the new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, who was a private citizen until a couple hours ago, got sworn in today as the new Prime Minister of Canada, elected by 0.0005% of the country. An amazing thing. We'll see if he gets to keep the job or not. The way the Canadian system works is, even though I've been here 10 years, it's a little screwy to me. But anyway, they're going to potentially have a new election here called soon. And then in a few months or few weeks, we would know when that election would be. And after that, who the next Prime Minister. Apparently, the election is going to be called next week, says the uber guru of these things, otherwise known as Mrs. Striking. Welcome, everybody watching on X. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. You Rumble viewers, you guys rock. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Let's get into what we've been talking about. Just give the quick recap here before we get into talking about what everyone's full Rant Friday is. And then Pedro will give a quick Bitcoin review as well. We had a lot of good topics this week. Let me turn this down. A lot of good topics this week. We started out the week talking about the fear and greed index. If you notice the graphic here I've got out, the fear and greed index, everything was 10. There was no 20, no 40, no 100. Everything was 10 on the fear and greed index. And Bitcoin was low, and everybody was in full doom mode because the altcoins had been crushed. Solana had been crushed. Everybody was down. People were capitulating. Long-term stop orders were being filled and people were getting stopped out of their long-term trades. Money was being lost everywhere. Money's only lost when you sell, if you recall. But everyone's portfolios went way down and got burned by the altcoin drawdown. And then on Tuesday, we talked about tariffs. Yes, we are live. Pedro, your mic is not on yet, though. We talked about trading on Tariff Talk and the volatility in markets and what volatility means to the trader. And the trader likes price action, likes the price to move up and down. Pedro, I think your camera's still off. And when the price goes up, good. When the price goes down, good too, because traders trade both sides of it. There's no bull and bear market in futures and perpetuals trading. There's only price action and no price action. And no price action is not good because it's very difficult to make a good trade if the price does not move at all. And talks of tariffs and economic, I don't know what the right word is, dissonance? Is that a word? Dissonance? Something like that, Pedro.
Cognitive dissonance?
No, like a disconnect in markets. Yeah, there was another word there that I saw on the word of the day calendar a while ago. It wasn't there. But when markets are disconnected in the stock market and the financial markets, sense things are wrong, there becomes volatility. There's big sell-offs and the winds change. There's big buybacks, and we talked all about that on a Tuesday. It was a good show. And then what else did we talk about? I left one of them out here. Anyway, yesterday we were supposed to talk about stable coins for a long time and the stablecoin mania, but we didn't get to it. Yesterday's show went off the rails, and we hit everything from philosophy to being positive in your life. And you'll see that my attitude, more negativity about things coming out of this mouth here. And so that show is all about that. And today, of course, we move on to a full Rant Friday. This is the video edition, which we're just going to basically, I just wanted to recap the week, talk Bitcoin for a little bit, and what's going on with just the markets today. And then we'll move into full Rant Friday on X, but I'm going to rebroadcast it. I'll just keep this open and rebroadcast it here just to snag other people. And also to get our, Pedro, we need another another 10 hours of broadcasting on Rumble to get into the creator program. So I'll get another.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, maybe 12, but it's we build up the hours awful fast.
No, we do. Yeah,
anyway, Pedro, what's happening with you, my friend?
No, it's actually going really well. I've been on a few spaces, kind of really trying to preach what's coming here, and because I want people to be ready. And I am definitely being a pain in the orish to a few people, and not. I mean, meaning
Seems
to,
like you're
yes.
trying to be a pain in the arse.
Yeah, I am. But because the only way, and I actually have come to this realization, really the only way for you to really kind of like get your message out there is to be bombastic. I mean, very rarely do you actually see, I mean, case in point, who's the president of the United States?
he's the chief shiller and
God,
Mr. Clickbait himself.
Like he really is. And it's so interesting because like this, our, this generation is only like flashy light, like ADD, like ding what? And so you got to just say these crazy things. And I don't. And here's the thing: these crazy things are like legit things, but people don't want to talk about them right on air because nobody wants to hear, "Hey, yeah, stock market's going to probably be cut in half here, coming here real soon." I mean, just that you know. And people are like, "Wait, what?" And it's like, yeah,
what you talking about,
it
Willis?
yeah, it's happening as we speak. And so and again, that's a positive thing because the reality is things are getting reset back to kind of normal. Um, and and people don't like it. The world has been kind of out of whack for 10, 15 years with the debt and how we really, it's like we've become so accustomed to believing in lies that we don't want to hear the truth.
Although
And
I still think, you and I have our moments about where the price of Bitcoin is going, and I'm usually wrong, and you're usually right.
mhm,
So, but I don't think
mhm,
it's going to 30. I think there's too much money in the market to go to 30,
mhm.
um, and that would be a catastrophe for the whole ecosystem. Since right now it's costing $50,000 to $65,000 to mine a Bitcoin, and as soon as those guys get underwater, it's bad news. Bad news,
Gotcha.
especially since a lot of those guys, the miners now, are big companies that have taken out a lot of leverage to
Hmm.
mine Bitcoin to buy the equipment, and it would be brutal. Although then the more miners that come out, the difficulty goes down and it becomes cheaper. It's a self-regulating market, I guess, but still.
Yeah, there's a lot there. I think that's actually what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to take out competition, and because the government, I think they're trying. The more and more, what's up, Carmen? But
Carmen Crypto in the house.
I
Chuck
think the
Hansen
general.
says, "What is this green candle stuff?"
This is a good question. I was expecting it for it to go down. I didn't expect it to be have such a. I knew that this area right here.
Oh, Stream Deck might run in. Hold on, I don't have
Um,
your screen up, Pedro. Give me a second here. Finish your last thought. You're just saying something.
Oh, I was saying, I really think because the initiative of the government and them creating a Bitcoin reserve, they get a discount on energy, they'll get a discount on certain aspects. And the reality is this is that they'll be able to mine their Bitcoin a lot cheaper than the private sector. Or there will be private sector entities that will be given, I hate to say it, but government rebates or uh, you know, exactly. I
Oh,
can't
I
really say it.
actually have a cough.
Oh, okay. But like, I think there's going to be some things that we're going to see. And I am kind of shocked because, like, I'm a common conspiracy theorist, but I don't think that our banks are trying to. Um, hey, I'm off center there for a second, man. And like, but in the studio,
It's your camera.
all right.
Yeah, I can see from the studio feed. You just got to spin your camera till you're in. I have that picture is always centered right there. You moved it the wrong way. trust me, this is all I do, Pedro, is move my camera around. So
There you go. And I'm a little to the left. So, and there you go. Is it? Alrighty, look, there we are. All right. So what I think is there's going to be some setups here that are already currently, and I think that's where price is going to go down to. And I think we're going to have a type of flash crash. It's going to push a lot of people out of business here real quick. When I mean flash, I mean over like a period of like not a day, but like 3-4 weeks. And it's going to kind of shake up certain aspects within the government. The government's going to come in, establish a type of, a mining system that they're going to be able to basically manufacture Bitcoin. That's really what it is, right? That's what mining is. And so I think that's what we're going to see. Now I could be wrong because I've been wrong in the past, but
But
I'm
I don't
expecting
understand
it.
what you mean. You said like other governments like Bhutan and China, they're going to mine the Bitcoin themselves.
Hmm.
Well, then they'll push the difficulty up.
I think it's going to be nations that are going to be able to mine. It's not going to be something that's going to be given just to the general public.
It's too late to give it to. I mean, you can download the stuff and mine it yourself now. I mean,
I understand,
free
but
download. They could
I
make it illegal.
no, not make it illegal. What they'll do is they'll just price point it out. And because they themselves can go through and control price points,
Right.
it will then allow them to be able to create for themselves more of a demand. So allow America. So let's put it like just a thought process here. And I want to talk about Bitcoin here in a second. Um, one being that we're watching certain aspects happen in the world about Bitcoin. We know Musk has already talked about they're going to start doing, we've talked about this now for almost a year, asteroid mining, right? We've talked about this like on the days that once he's able to really do that, that will push the price of gold and silver basically to non-existent, and any type of metal or whatever that we would want to hold on to, unless there is a real thing called vibranium, right? uh,
Unobtainium.
an titanium, whatever it be, right? Something. Unless there's something, a new metal that we can't find so readily available in the universe, i.e., the asteroid field or asteroid belt, then that stuff becomes like it's no longer of value. So the only thing that's really going to be of value that you could hold it or store a value, right now it's very volatile, is Bitcoin. I think the government I think the governments understand that. Right? Like they get it. I think they get it. I think China gets it. I think Trump gets it. And so he's sitting there. And I know if I was in that position, I would sit there and say, okay, the government, the US government needs to have a real advantage over other countries like China. And so the way I would do it is I would push Bitcoin past to the current people who are mining it. So it'd make it very difficult. So they'd have to shut off. Then what I would do is establish mining systems within the government itself so that the government can mine it basically for free. We give a discount to any company that's willing to give us cheap energy. And then, or if not, free energy by creating some form of, I don't know, like a little
If you own a
house.
nuclear power plant, you don't pay taxes.
There you go.
There you go. To
There
be
you
honest, I don't. Not here now. I'm in Canada right now. But when I
go. Mhm.
broadcast from the States, I'm in Chicago, and we're served by the public utility owns in Illinois. I think they own 10 nuclear reactors. Illinois is full of them, and I don't understand why. And in fact, it's not even a public company anymore. It's a private, but regulated by the state. Just put a big data mining center at each of your nuclear power plants because each one's got the power distribution. You're right there. I mean, everyone's got high speed super internet right now. And I mean, just the bleed off energy from a nuclear power plant. You can just, hey, we need to, get another couple hundred gigawatts. Okay. Boop, and you get the electricity at cost.
Mhm.
You think that would be an easy one for just to set up. I mean, just set up a little division. like you.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't know why I'm coughing all of a sudden.
Do you want to grab some tea or?
I have the tea right here.
Oh, you do.
I mean, I just started coughing. That first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good, man. Listen, dude, don't cough a lung on me, dude, dog. Like, I need you to live, man. I mean, with the new mindset that you got, I look forward to the ride we're gonna have.
We had the right. What you got up there? Is that the Bitcoin chart? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see what happened to Tommy Boy the past couple of days here with my new outlook in life and in trading here. Oh, that sounds like fapping.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, dude. I'm basically drinking water.
That was bad.
My bad. I was just drinking water there.
Fortunately, your camera froze for that, and then all of a sudden we hear that noise, and I was like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good."
Hey, you guys.
Down here yesterday, opened a small trade, and ran it up here. Made 22% on the trade. Made 12. I think I made. No, I forget what I made yesterday. 12 or somewhere in between $11 and $17 in this range here. It was good because I'm trading small amounts, learning. I'm not risking a lot, and I have used demo accounts, which are great to learn, but you start off with 100 grand in them, and you just don't have the right mindset.
Reality.
Right. And so I'm trading small amounts. That's my own money. I don't risk a lot, but still, when you lose, you're pissed, right? You're like, mm-hmm. And then today we had a wait, what time frame is that? Anyway, you know what, Pedro, I've got one. I took my contacts out to clean them, and I'm having trouble seeing your chart. Let me look at it here. Get the time frame. I got to use the other window here.
Yeah. So this is a.
Oh, right here. Sorry, I had the that's the 5-minute chart. I had the wrong
5-minute chart.
Yesterday. My yesterday trade was behind this here. Today's trade, last night I saw the moving average is doing a couple things that I like, which I'll talk about on another show as I'm able to explain them. And so what I did is I put in an overnight trade, put in my stop just below another moving average, and as they say, just let it cook overnight. And it worked out. And this morning I woke up to gains of what did I say they were, honey? Like $40, something like that. $44, I think it was. And I was very happy. I was very happy because it worked out. The plan worked out. If you remember me complaining about making mistakes in trading and endlessly messing with them, moving the stop and blah, 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 and this, and as they say, choking off the trade, which I had done previously. I said, nope, I'm just going to do it. If I lose my, I think the margin was $50 or something like that. If I lose the margin, that's the cost of that trade. And I need to stick with my plan. I'm not getting the numbers right here. I'm mixing 3 or 4 trades in my mind. And I woke up to gains this morning. I woke up and I didn't even look at my phone because I got a new phone. I don't have the trading app on the phone. Came out to the computer, looked at it, clicked. I saw the position was liquidated. And instead of thinking, the first thing, Pedro, normally what I would think that at that time would be like, damn it, got stopped out and lost. I thought, before I even saw the trade, I said, excellent, it hit my goals. And sure enough, I clicked at the P&L and it hit the take profits, not the stop loss, and earned me the monies. And so I was very happy this morning. And then I said, okay, things are going well. Moving averages change around on the daily 200.
Okay.
200 period moving average on the daily. The market cracked just above it, right about here somewhere. And I said, that's a sign. That's a sign. If we can get up there and trade above it, it's going to do. So I put in a little trade, and I wrote it all the way about up to here, Pedro. And that was my another $12 or $13 trade that I made right there. Positive outlook. I wrote down my trades too, Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm talking about. And for you viewers, thanks for letting me tell you my trading journey there. My positive outlook on it. And I got to tell you, it works. I got to tell you that it already works. I got, let's say in the past 48 hours, I've probably done 5 trades and only lost one of them. And it was fine when I lost it because it just went in, it hit my stop order, took my $10, and I was like, and what I did was I said, I didn't go, damn it. What I did was I looked at it and I say, all right, how did I misinterpret that, and what can I learn from it? And of course, I learned I didn't learn anything from it other than sometimes the market just moves because somebody makes a big order, and there's nothing I can figure out about that. Maybe an experienced trader could say, oh, well, the line went this way and up and down and zipped around, and that's why it happened. But a lot of times, though, just someone comes in and puts in a massive order, it goes against.
And like I said, bro, if you can keep up an 80% win ratio, you will be a multi-millionaire in about 3 to 5 years.
That would be a good problem to have, Pedro.
Well, the problem is taxes are going to go up on us because the 180 the people who make $150,000 and less are literally going to have free taxes, which is epic, which I so think is dope. Right? You're talking, but let's talk about the trade that we were talking about last night here.
Okay.
So, I set up a trade for us right here, basically where there was an hour zone here, and I said we're just looking for an hour trade. A small little trade is what we're looking for. And let's check it out. We'll go over the trade here, what I brought to you guys, and then see if it worked out. So right here is the zone. The price point is at that 82,650 to the 82,300. Many of you guys know how we talk about taking trades, right? You wait for it to hit the zone, then we see the sellers come in through the seller wicks, right? And then after that, we want to see it close below the 8-period moving average. So we saw it come into our zone, yay. We see it push down, yay. Right? Then we see the seller wicks come in, pointing right here, right? Yay. And then we say, okay, well, this is our trigger right here because it's coming back and testing that 8. And then we go down. And so our stop would be right here. Once we break even at a 1-to-1 ratio, what do? Take off 60 to 70% of that trade, right? Preferably because it's a 1-hour trade, we're looking just to capture a little bit of cash, right? We want to capture it from here. From here is our stop because it's the local low or lower high. Then we start to see a profit come in. Then right here, you would probably about right here is where you would take your initial profit, 60%. Then from there, or actually let me redo that. And come on, buddy. Sorry about that, guys. And then right here, you can see our initial profit would be right here. And then the rest would come through. Once we close back up above that 8, we would then take the rest of the profit out, and then we're good there. So it was a winning profit. I was hoping for it to go further than what we expected. I thought this was going to be the turnaround, but we saw the consolidation happen. We saw that there were probably a lot of sellers coming in at this level. So the institutions were taking the other side, and they said, well, since more sellers are coming in with our novices, then we're going to sit there and push it up because they need. You should notice how I made sure that we didn't have any weird thing. So purposely, I was like, I'm not going to make the mistake. And so you can see right here as it went through, we're starting to go up here. Now, the biggest thing though is that are we seeing it top to turn around? So let's check this out here real quick. I'm looking for major shorts coming in that we could sit there and say, oh yes, look, we can see the sellers coming in. Or if the buyers are falsifying their move. So you can see here, so you have either or shorts coming in or the buyers just lying. And so you can see here, here's a huge amount of volume right on the 5-minute. But if you notice, we have a big seller wick right there. So it's a little falsifying. Again, we saw it come up, starting to push. We're topping off here. And so on that 5-minute zone, I would think they're saying, hey, we're not putting any demand wicks as we're moving up. And then in additionally to that, As we're pushing it up, what are we seeing? We're seeing seller wicks come in, which is about right here. You see the seller wicks. You see the
Yep.
seller wicks as we're pushing up. And so that then communicates. So just like our normal, we have our zone right here still. And so we're saying, okay, it's coming in. Sellers are coming in. Then I want to see if it's going to go down. So we see it come in. We see it close below the 8. We see seller wicks coming in right here. Boom. So then we go short right up in this level. We want to capture from here. Our stop is going to be right here, the local lows, right? We're trying to get short about right here. And we want to capture, again, a 1-to-1 ratio first and foremost, right? Because, again, that's a good amount of money. That's 70%. For every trade, you can get 60 to 70% off of one trade every day. If you get 2 or 3 of them, all of a sudden, it starts to
It adds
accumulate.
up.
It starts to add up real quick. You can take $200 and turn into $1,400. Just to ask Tom.
We'll give ka-ching for that one. You probably didn't hear that.
What's up, brother?
And
So
he's not
yeah.
here. I was just giving the cash register sound.
Oh, I got you. All right, so you can see here, guys, this is where it's at. Boom, we saw it come down. 1-to-1 ratio would be about right here. Boom. And then we take our profit, and then we see what's going to happen here. We've got a free trade now. So it can come and stop us out. And if it does, so be it. That's just the way the market works. But we want to take that profit and put it in our pocket quick, right? 1-to-1, like if you just think about like from a meme coin standpoint, okay, you can go through. And here's the thing, you can trade it like a meme coin in a sense. You want to go and make your money and get out. Because we're dealing with futures and perps here, you can actually play with that. And then you can accrue that money, have dry powder to put into your actual either meme coins and or your long-term plays that you're trying to do. But the point of this is to make sure that you guys have dry powder. Again, these are just things that I'm looking to do, the things that I'm doing, and I'm just sharing with you guys. So if you guys want to do it, you can. If you don't, I'm not telling you to do it. This is not financial advice. Dude, what is up with my phone? It's
I
like,
don't know. Your picture clicked off a minute ago. I
yeah,
assumed you had got a phone call or something.
no, it keeps it used to stay on while something. Did they update that device that we use for? Because it used to just stay on. No, it doesn't.
You know what? I've been having trouble with Chrome. If you're using Chrome on your phone,
I am. I'm
I've
using.
been I've been having trouble with Chrome and cameras and all. Chrome updated over the last, I don't know,
Yep.
2 days or 3 days, and it's not been good to me.
All right. Well, I think I should be good there. I'm gonna have to figure it out what's going on, but ultimately that's that's what's happening. So we'll see right here.
Did
And
you
this is
take that
kind of
trade, or are you just walking through it?
no. I'm just walking through it so you guys can sit there and see it. Again, I'm not bullish in the sense of a short-term trade. I think we're coming down. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive that we're not going to go up. I mean, like just we're not. So like, but I've said between that 83 to 93,000 is the pullback area because we have a lot of we have a lot of moving averages there. We have a lot of stuff sitting at this level. So between this area right here, it's kind of the pullback area to continue down into the lower levels here that I've talked about. So again, this is correlated to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is right here. And you can see the NASDAQ, guess what? It went up today. So what did we do? Somebody, anybody, we went up. So,
We,
but
as in
remember,
BTC.
yes, BTC.
That the
And then from,
Nasdaq Daily.
yeah, this is the NASDAQ daily. So you can see here, I told people on the Nobu show, um, on Space, I go, put an 8-period simple moving average on your chart. And I want you to follow it. And when we pull back to it, and I think that was Monday. So I think this is Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Yeah. So I said, listen, we went up and we hit this area right here. And now we're going to come down. You can see here we're tapping it again, and we're probably going to shoot down to that 400 period moving average that we're sitting there. It won't go straight, but it will keep going down. Sometimes they'll break the 200 period moving average, or excuse me, sometimes it will break that 8 period moving average as it comes to a higher time frame zone or a higher time frame or a bigger, like a major, like the 400-day period moving average is another. I've talked about us coming there, tapping this on the NASDAQ right here. And we're going to see a bounce off of that. Okay. And then from there, it may cross through the 8 period moving average. But as the NASDAQ regains balance, it will then continue down and it will keep falling. It will reestablish kind of like how the 8 right here was losing track. It really wasn't being followed. And then right here, when you saw all the cells coming in at this moment here,
Right.
right, you saw it regain its traction off the 8. Some people like using the 9. Some people like using the 7. Whatever one you like to use, or you like to use the EMAs. I like SMAs. I think they work better when it starts to trend. That's why I use it on my charts. But so that, and this correlates to BTC. So I don't want us to get all yay when we it's we're just starting to see this get up and go. So of course you're going to have people buying. I mean, you've literally had all week where at the ES was just consolidating, waiting for the 8 period moving average until it continued down. You can see here, because BTC is a multiple of 3, it will overshoot, right? Multiple by 3 or whatever the market's doing. So don't get too like, I mean, and again, I've said this. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm pretty positive I'm not. Right now, Trump's uh, initiative of his jobs deal acts that he's creating with many of the businesses around the world, we're watching him literally go through and set it up, which has been kind of cool. We already had about 10,000 manufacturing jobs start, but it's going to take about 6 months to a year for that to really get up and going, 2 years to really get it going. So I say that because right now we're already seeing manufacturing companies come in and start things up. Or like I said, there was about 10,000 in February. I kind of got going, and yeah, something's up. I'm gonna have to reset this, find out why it keeps closing.
Oh, you're on now.
But yeah, but I can see it keeps dimming after every like 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know why it's doing that, so it shouldn't do that. All right, what was I gonna say? Um,
Where are we going? What do the next 24 hours look like, Pedro? It's the end of the week.
okay.
How did the week start?
So we started red. Remember we talked about we started red on Sunday. We went down around Tuesday, Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, or Tuesday, we saw it come up, saw it consolidate. Here's our zone. We saw it come down. We should end green this week. We should, because we went down on Sunday and we should see it go up. Now, it may end up as a doji, right? And you can look right here. We are, we can see here came down and came back up. Why is this here? Oh, because it was Monday, not Sunday. Hmm. I thought the week started. Did they change this up?
I think you just counted wrong. Friday,
No.
Thursday.
Oh, that's what they did. Okay, they used to actually have it open where the new week would start on Sunday evening, right? And that would so because it was correlated to the futures. Ah, they're fucking up. Excuse me. They're messing up the zones now. It used
Hold
to be
on, let
not.
me let me say. You're looking at TradingView.
Mm-hmm. Is there a way for me to change this? Is there a way to change it?
I don't have
Maybe
any idea. I am not a charting guru. Let's see. So Friday.
24 hours date format. Why is it Monday? I thought they changed this. It used to start on Sunday because it used to correlate to the futures. Yeah, it's no longer save chart left edge.
Well, let's here put on countdown to the. It says it's got 4 hours left in the change in a new candle here.
No, it's not that. So what it is on the weekly chart. Okay, I look at the weekly chart to indicate what is actually happening, right? And the weekly chart correlates with the monthly chart, and that's how it communicates. We have 4 weeks in a month, right? We have 3 week or
Usually.
3 months in a quarter. And so what happens is the chart plays in that manner. The first week, it correlates. And if you can
Right.
change the date of the actual start of the week from Sunday, which they used to do Sunday evening at 6
Yeah,
East Coast Standard Time.
well, it's at 8 o'clock right now after the time change, right? The daily candle close is at 8 on the BTC
N-
futures.
Well, it should be. I thought it used to be Sunday at 6, like Eastern
I'm talking about
Standard
the
Time.
daily. I guess you're talking the weekly.
I'm talking because the weekly indicates, remember, the weekly governs my daily chart.
Yeah, something's up because it doesn't seem right that the daily would be closing in 5 hours or 4 hours because I'm on UTC -4. It's telling me at 5 p.m. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the CME futures. That does close at today.
Yeah, and then it opens at 6 o'clock in the evening. Well, then that's
Yeah,
important to understand.
I'm
And
I'm
here's
talking. I'm talking crypto in proper
But what I'm
crypto,
trying to
not the.
proper crypto, when it came to the charting here, used to open and close on Sunday. So the new week would start on Sunday at 6 p.m. when the futures opened up. It no longer does that.
All
It's
right.
not
So
doing that in Go ahead.
okay. So I pulled up the Binance chart in TradingView, and it is closing at 8. Now we pull up the weekly chart, and let's see what it says for that. Where the hell is the weekly chart? There it is. 2 days and 8 hours. So 2 days
2
from now
days.
is Sunday, and 8 hours from now would be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I forget that the CME has different things because they actually close.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. So then
So
what is it?
I just realized why we always have a disconnect on that, because your mind is thinking the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and
Yes.
my mind is thinking crypto,
Okay.
which is different, because CME is contracts
Yeah.
of things they've made up on their own. I don't mean made up, but I mean
Right. A
on their
consensus.
exchange only. They're not interchangeable with the rest of crypto, and
Yeah.
so they have their own times. So that now I understand why I'm always doing this when you're talking about time. I'm like, no, this does not. Something's not right. Um,
So what's the difference then?
um, in crypto land, all the exchanges in crypto, they go on. Um, uh, it's somewhere out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's it's Sunday at 8 o'clock. I guess it would be I think it's the Singapore Open time, Asia Open. Is that like, so Sunday night at 7:59 and 59 seconds, the week closes, and that's when the day closes. Also, when the 12-hour closes, when the 4-hour closes, and um, that's the time. Right now, it's 8 p.m. because of daylight savings time. Um, every night is the daily at 8 o'clock. The candle changes, and the weeks at Sunday at 8 o'clock.
So then the new candle starts, but that doesn't make sense because me looking at this right now, this is Sunday, boom. And this is that then give me 1 second. That's how I'll do it. Let me go to the weekly. So the week started right here, which is down here.
I'm
This is
glad
the
we
weekly
finally
chart.
figured that out.
So boom right here. So then I should see this. Where is this happening? Right here. So this is Monday. No, This chart has started on Monday now. I've got to see what's going on. I don't know if it's mine, but that makes so much more sense now. Because looking at the weekly, so the S&P, when I look at my,
Yeah, so on my chart,
yeah,
I'm looking at that big red candle down. It's I
yeah,
highlighted. It says Sunday. That's
hmm
I guess it
okay,
might Friday.
I'm
That's
going to show
Friday
here real quick.
open. Okay, that's right. So Sunday and then it closed. Sunday closed.
Okay, look at the weekly candle right here. Can you see this? This is the weekly candle for this week.
Yep,
Now I'm going to go to the BTC on the CME. This is the weekly candle here for this
it's
week.
different.
Week, yeah. Well, not more and more importantly, our open is sitting now. It's going to be off a little, but I just want to make sure you understand like the picture here. This picture here, we bounced off of the 50 period moving average. This is where the real money plays at right now. And I think it's going to go into blockchain, and I believe it is probably going like to Binance and all these other places, but they can't handle the funds in which money needs to inflow. So right now, the CME still handles a lot of money coming in and out because that's what they're designed to do. So you have to look at this, and this is the micro, but you can have the in the large contract BTC, Bitcoin futures, boom.
Welcome everyone on Rumble. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Got a couple new viewers and they left.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those of you watching, hit that like button. Really helps us out. Appreciate it. We're a little shy on likes on the YouTubers.
So, but jumping back to what we're saying here, and I think it's like super important, is that this movement here of the down and up, it came down, and if you look, it came down. Defense came in. The buyers stepped in. Okay. As buyers stepped in, there wasn't a lot of buyers. And you can see something similar to right here. Okay. You can see there was a lot of sellers. Then buyers stepped in over the week and it wasn't strong enough. And then we saw a continuation down. It's the same idea here. You can see how sellers are coming in on the weekly chart and they're stepping in. And we're coming up to them unless a ton of volume really steps in and we see this thing continue, at least get above the minimum average, right? You can see how the minimum average, which of volume is 63,000 on the weekly chart for contracts on the BTC contract here, versus with the dollars that we're seeing today putting in for this week isn't even get remote. We're still off 25%, right? And
It's working.
so no, it's not. It was messing up. It was about to go off. I gotta
Oh,
keep. I have brought in
oh,
my
I see
sphere
what
of
you.
flow.
Is your phone plugged in?
I was going off even if it was plugged in. But I'll
Huh.
try it again. Let me try it again. Maybe.
While Pedro's doing that, I'm going to bring up my screen again, ladies and germs here. And one of the things that I was working on today, and what caused my enthusiasm to make a trade, was this here. This is the daily BTC chart here. Let me bring myself up to Big Tom. Oops, I need that. This is the daily candles. Today is yesterday, day before. This red line here, if you can see it, is the 200 period moving average. A few days ago, we closed below it. We traded through it and closed below it. Not good. Not good. Want to stay above the 200 moving average. Kind of delineates bear versus bull markets, that type of stuff. And we wishy-washied it all week. And then we started coming up and we cracked it again and actually traded through it. And I was like, excellent. And the theory is that if it shows, I'm trying to remember what Pedro told me. If it violates it, what's it when it just the wick goes through it versus the whole body of the candle?
Basically, what you want to see is this,
Wait,
right?
hold on. I just wanted to keep my thought process to make sure. Then you can say yes or no. That's hogwash or not. But the whole candle traded through the daily or 200 SMA here, this red line, and I thought that to be very bullish. And it was, and that little spot between my finger here and then the top of the wick here was my trade today, in which I pulled in a cool $12.
Nice. Um, so you can see that that principle doesn't necessarily work here, right? And so that's why I don't, because I have to teach the full principle, and I remember we can't because we're trying to go into full Rant Friday, and that full principle is going to be
Not full principle week.
yeah,
Right. No, we don't need to
yeah,
teach
yeah,
anything. I was just telling people
yeah. It's
why I
just
did my trade.
yeah. So yeah, basically the market was violating, but it really didn't. So you can see it violated it here by closing above the 8 or the 200, but then you can see it was rejected
Yep.
immediately after. They tried pushing up, it hit the zone that we had right here. This was Thursday's trade we talked about here. It came down, right? And so then the next one, I thought we were going to go halfway through the day and continue down. We didn't. We pushed back up, but also because again we're talking about correlation between the Nasdaq, and so I don't think this is a real play. This is just algorithms having a 3-to-1 ratio with the Nasdaq. I don't think like Bitcoin is not controlling the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is controlling Bitcoin because the algorithms that are playing on the
Well, the
Nasdaq.
Nasdaq's way larger. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, just from a
way larger, and the volume is
right.
way larger.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not a negative thing or a positive thing. It's just it's right now the current environment that we're trading in. And so it's important to pay attention to that. And so you're going to see a little bit of disconjointing. That's why I have the 100 and the 2, or excuse me, not the 100, 200. That's why I have the 8 and 20, because it will play either we'll see an 8 period moving average and or a 20 period moving average step in based off what is happening. But ultimately, when the trend really starts on Bitcoin down, we will see it just like when we see the rise up, right? And it bounces off of the 8, boom, 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 right? Just like what we see when it moves up. We will see something similar in relationship to the 8 period or whatever moving average you use. I use for my trend indication the 8. And I know how it works. I understand how the small nuances of it. But ultimately, I'm watching this to see, are we deviating from the actual the Nasdaq? And we're not. We're definitely not. And I'm not 100% convinced that this uptrend is a real uptrend. Just like I wasn't convinced when this uptrend went up. Just like I wasn't convinced when we saw this thing happening. It's not communicating. It's not acting in a way that indicates real buyers stepping in.
Right, a
And
big long-term reversal. It doesn't seem in my newbie eyes to be in the cards.
yes, see right here? Okay. Boom. That's this. Then look, here's that uptrend. This is the buyers stepping in here. It's been a while since I've done this, right? Then again, we see it go down here. And what do we see? We see buyers or we see sellers stepping in. We're seeing it go up. But look,
Volume
this
down.
volume down. So it's not indicating to me that it's really going to continue up. And it freaking did it again. Oh my goodness, bro. Um, and so it's not that I'm not bullish. It's just that I feel like I have a responsibility to everybody who listens.
Right.
And
Well,
because go ahead.
right. No, you're absolutely right, Pedro, and I'll give my opinion on it, and you can. I know you're going to back me up on it because you taught me this. While I was talking about the uptrend there and making a little money on the longs, it was purely a short-term play. If you look at the long-term outlook here, all the moving on the 12-hour, all the moving averages are above price point right now. On the 8-hour, a number of them, except for the 8 and 21, are still above it. The 4-hour, the 21, 200, 150, all above it. And on the daily, still except for the 200, all the moving averages are way above the price point now. And so it doesn't, to me, that doesn't seem like, the market's suddenly going to push through, 79 different moving averages on 12 charts. That doesn't make sense to me. Overall, if we saw the 1 minute change and the 1 minute move above everything, and then you watch that, and then the 5 minute moves above everything, and then the 10 minute does, and then and then it slowly works its way up. But it's not doing that. It's not doing that right now. And that, at least that's how I was interpreting the long term versus the short term there.
Gotcha. All right, I love it. Yeah. But it's definitely doing what I thought it was going to do per se. Just in this aspect, right now we're having a short term reprieve where it's pulling up, right? But they've literally the last 3 weeks just been dropping it, pushing it up for more pullbacks to drop it even more. And that's basically what we're seeing. And you can see it in the volume here, right? And so it's, to me, I want to just make sure, hey, look, like as Tom is saying, the other time frames are the other higher time frames. You have a lot of resistance there that could act as resistance to drop it even further. So that's what I'm expecting. And again, it would be dope if this was the bottom. I don't see it as the bottom.
No.
And because if it was the bottom, you would see something similar to more like, I would say, where's it at? Here we go. This is what I would want to see. You see like those amount of volume coming in, that amount of volume coming in, right? When we saw the sell off here, my biggest thing was,
I can't see your volume because the scroller blocks it.
right here.
Oh, now I can. Yeah, now we can see it.
Yeah, you can. That's kind of like what I'm just looking for right there. That's what I want to see as we see coming into the market as it consolidates and then pushes back up. So these are just some of the things I'm looking at, and we'll see what happens. I don't think that we're done with this pullback here for now. I think we're going to see it continue at least down to that 73 to like 60,000 area. It's screaming to me. It wants people to come and buy it down at those levels, and we'll see what happens. Yeah,
we shall see.
All right, so what are we doing next, my friend?
Want to jump over and open up the spaces?
Definitely. Do you want to do it, or how do you want that to be done?
Let's just do it I'm gonna rebroadcast it. So since I'm rebroadcasting it, you host it then.
Okay, sounds good then.
I just quickly, I brought up my chart here and kind of what I without any super technical look at it, just a kind of an eyeball of the moving averages, and that it's not gonna. If this is the bottom, it would just have to start launching up like that, and none of us believe that's the case because of the volume and the moving averages. So if it's going to do it, it's got to come down a little bit more and make its turn and go up like you always draw. It's got to go down before it goes up. And when you look over here where that price is, just, that price range is in the high 60s, low 70s.
Yeah.
And so when people say, oh, can't get down there, we're on the way up. It's not that big of a deal to make this type of curve down and then back up, just like it made the curve going up here, popping up to 106 and coming back down. It's essentially the same thing, flipped in reverse. And so to be just a total bull in this market and say, we're just going to the moon, and trading that way, you're going to lose your shirt. You're going to lose your shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, Pedro, I'm going to continue this, and when you get the feed up and running, I'll just pipe it in.
Perfect.
And we'll go from there.
And I think I forgot. All right, so then I'm going to have to do this right here. Okay.
I'll keep everyone entertained in the meantime.
Keep them entertained. Let's go ahead right here.
But you just need to drop off the whole system here.
Got you. Okay. Boom.
In fact, I'm just going to do that now and boot you.
Actually, wait.
Yep.
Because just let me hear you.
Check
you
1
don't
2 1 2.
You don't need to boot me just yet. Just give me a second.
Space Cat says, sorry everyone, I can't say I'm busy listening to our new Prime Minister speak. Poor guy. He's going to get churned and burned here. Good guy. A friend of mine has worked for him before, said he's a nice guy and all that, smart guy and all that. But I think the political aspect of this is going to burn him up, because politics is different than business. It's just different than business in every way you could possibly think. I mean, when you're the boss and you're controlling millions of dollars worth of investment money and all that, people listen to you and they do what you say. And people don't criticize you. You might have meetings in which people come up with better, ideas, like, "Hey, boss, have we tried trading this or doing that or something like that?" But when the boss says, "We're going to do this," everyone does it without talking back. In politics, that's not how it works. You immediately have half of the other people, or in Canada's case, more than half of the other people, trying to undermine you. Just like in the US, it's no different. As soon as you make a decision, one side says, "That's the greatest decision ever," and the other side says, "That guy's the biggest idiot on the planet." And you got to have really tough skin to do that. It's the equivalent. I've never been a politician, but from figuring it out over the years, is that you can look at Twitter, and if you can make posts on Twitter and relish in the negativity that happens there and do well and absorb those negative comments, package them all up and turn them into something good, then you can be a politician. But most people, they see negative comments on the Twitter and X or on social media, and they flip out. And many businesses do too. We've seen this happen. Businesses get one negative comment in a Twitter thread, and then they have all of a sudden they backtrack and they have all kinds of, "Oh, we're sorry, we didn't mean to do that," trying to make every single person happy, which, in business, in the workforce, you try to make every customer happy. Politics, you already know right off the bat that at least 50% of the people hate you. Space Cat, if you're still listening, I should bring that up, but I don't know if I can. Let's see if I can get it here. CTV News. The speech seems to be over already. Let me see if I can get this thing live here. Of course, they run ads. Anyway, we're waiting for Pedro to get the X Spaces up and running here. Oh, here he is.
Is behind me. An exceptional group of individuals who are serving Canada, united, focused cabinet, focused on action, focused on the issues for Canadians. We're, as I said a moment ago, we will be going to take some decisions which directly meet some of the objectives I set out in my remarks and we've been discussing. That's the news for today. There will be other news in the coming days with respect to ensuring that we have as strong a mandate that is needed for the time. Thank you.
And when you're in Europe, are you going to be seeking assurances from Canada's allies that this country will never become America's 51st state? And when would it be an appropriate time for you to take that message to the U.S. president?
Well, I've been clear. Personally, I've been clear. The ministers behind me, I think, to an individual, when asked, have been clear that we will never, ever, in any way, shape, or form, be part of the United States. America is not Canada. Look at the ceremony we just had. You could not have had that ceremony. You would not have that ceremony in America. Look at the cabinet behind me. You would not have that cabinet in America. You do not have that cabinet in America. We are a very fundamentally different country. So irrespective of any issues economically, fundamentally to our core, to our identity, is one reason why we have a minister, and I will thank Monsieur Guilbeault to be our Minister of Canadian Identity and Culture and bringing in all those aspects and reinforcing them. So before we get to the economics of it, we won't be part of it. And when we get to the economics, then the president is a successful business person and deal maker. We're his largest client in so many industries. As the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Industry, Monsieur Leblanc and Monsieur Champagne have made this point. And clients expect respect and working together in a proper commercial way. So the nature of Canada means we won't. The economics means we shouldn't. And what you will see from this government is focusing on building here at home, building with different partners abroad, and that will reinforce the point. It's good. We're doing it for our own reasons, to be clear, for our own people, for the high-paying jobs. But eventually, the truth will out, and the Americans will.
Everybody, can you hear me? You should be able to hear me.
Sir, do you want to...
I don't think we need. I don't think we need to hear it from. We're masters in our home.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I had our microphones off while I was talking to Pedro.
We're in charge. It's always nice when people say nice
things. For those of you on Rumble, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. You're probably not familiar with our full Rant Friday. We switch over to X Spaces, and we have a Meet the Team type thing. Pedro and I come on and listen to what we talk about. Mike says he can hear both. I'm going to turn. I had the feed on from the TV here. I just turned that off for the people here. But anyway, I just want to explain. We're going to switch over to X Spaces. I am going to rebroadcast it though on the video feed here today. So for those of you that don't want to switch over, can listen to it. But it's a time where people come in and just you're allowed to get your whatever is on your chest off, whether it's crypto related or not. Because as you heard me talk about positivity and having the right set of mind for being in this world of crypto, if you need an outlet for places to get stuff off your chest, did you get rug pulled? Did you make a bad trade? Did your dog run away? Things you want to complain about, but also we want to take what you tell us and work that back onto you with lessons about how that can help you either in your financial life, and maybe you'll get some personal life experience too. I'm on wife number 3, so I'm not going to give you any experience on that other than keep going until you get the one you want. But anyway, I'm just waiting for Pedro to come on, or to drop off here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to hang up on Pedro. So wait for his spaces, and then I'll trunk that into this. But if anyone's got any questions while I'm waiting here, let me know. Make Trump coin great again. Hey, we had a little pump in Trump. Little pump in Trump. Went from, what was it, 10 to 12 bucks? Let's see if we can... let's see. Here's the Trump coin here. Mikester, I'll give it my little review. Ooh, look, that's a tough chart on the daily chart, isn't it? Let's go to the 5-minute chart here, see what's going on. That looks like a better chart. This is a classic trading pattern right here. It absolutely a classic trading pattern here. We had a little downtrend, some consolidation here. Whatever the news was that happened on yesterday on the 13th here in the morning. Actually, it was yesterday afternoon. And we have this pump up here, you can see. And actually, I'm expecting more of a pump here because this arrow here formed. Here, we had this consolidation like that. I'm not doing this exactly right. I'm new with this. And then you take the measured move here, saying it's going to go up to 13,389 there. And you see, with retrospect, it's easy to see here. It's easy to see here. Sorry, I'm trying to make this bigger so you can see it. I have a feeling it's behind me now. Oh, I don't have the screen on. Ah, Tom, you idiot. Just went through that whole thing. didn't have the screen on. Yeah, sorry, Mike. Dumbass. Let's see, this one. All right, so here's what my view of the Trump coin here in the basic stuff that I've been learning. What happened is it was going along here, whatever this was here. I don't know what that super pump was, that outsized thing. But anyway, yesterday afternoon, it started trending upward here. Moved up this big thing. After that, we got too far away from the on the 1 hour. I bet you we got too far away from the. I can't even see that here. Yeah, here it shows it right here. I'm not as good as this is Pedro. Let me bring this over so I can see it. The orange line here is my 21 period moving average here. And you can see this gap that formed. And I learned this from Crypto Lifer. Let's see here. What button do I want to hit? This one. This 21-day moving average here. As it went up here, 21 period got too far away from the price action, so you know it's got to consolidate. And it did, and it consolidated, formed this flag here. The bottom of it here, the top part of it here, and then it broke out. It broke out from the flag after it got closer to after the 21 period moving average got closer to it. And if you take the measured move part of it, says it's going to like 13.6 or something like that. Or it could go down. I'm not right. I'm a new person at this too, even though I've been in the financial world a long time and understand it. Trading the charts and what it tells us is kind of new to me. But that is what I see with that. Yeah, there. Gotta put up with our technical difficulties here. In fact, I don't know if you're around when a guy named Jeff from one of the projects we covered actually had AI come up with a song called "Technical Difficulties." It's about the, and it's just because I do things too complicated here. I try to have a really nice virtual production, better than other people. I don't just use StreamYard and go live. You know, we have the graphics over here. I have all kinds of stuff going on. We have our own studio software, and it's complicated. I don't get it right all the time. All right, let me click over and see if what Pedro's doing here. And I've been listening to the Canadians talk in French in my ear. As long as I live here in Canada, I'll never understand the whole French thing. They were talking about the U.S. They're like, look what they did to Louisiana. Nobody speaks French there anymore. Who cares? Just speak whatever language you need to get a business deal done. Who cares what language you use? You're not even allowed to put signs in English in Quebec. It's just the weirdest thing. It's we'll call it odd. Why isn't there's Mr. Striking? I guess I got to do this on here. Let's find Pedro here. Ladies and gentlemen, Pedro Garcia. I just realized that I was slacking on the music here today. Where can Pedro be? He took my X feed away from me. All right, guys, you should be able to let me know if on the YouTube or Rumble you can hear Pedro talking. Don't be a dick. Check, 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 1, 2. Pretty good. I'm grabbing the feed to put it out over YouTube too. If anyone's listening and gets a feedback, please let me know right away. Pedro's recommendations are simply the best. You guys are right. I can't. For some reason, you're not hearing Pedro. It's not going out over the system. Let me get the right button here to do that. You guys are right. I can't. For some reason, let's see. Why is it, my meters say it's working, but it's clearly not. Oh, I know. I got to turn off. I got to. Oh, I got to get these ones off. Literally have no idea why we can't hear Pedro. I'll trouble. Meter says you can hear it. I don't know, gentlemen, here it's not working. I have all these meters in front of me, studio stuff. You're doing up and down. You're not getting the signal. Some of it's. I'm trying to bridge the spaces with the thing here. We need to podcast longer on Rumble to the creator platform. On and you yeah, I know it's the Rumble studio, but it's not feed and another route, as they say.
Up at the top, highest volume.
Yeah, oh, very frustrating here. Let's turn the lo-fi off. Thanks for the feedback, Mike. Weird. Seems like pulling it out. Here. Right. Through. Guys, entertain. Rumble. I know it'd help if we had a. Thing, and it's.
Buy it on the cheap if you decide you want to hold on to this baby. But if you don't want to, at least if you see it sell up and you see it go down further, you've secured a fatty bag. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. That's what my logical brain was telling me to do, but my retarded autistic brain was telling me to hold for 100.
With that,
Okay, but the key is that I'm looking at the 1 minute, and I'm seeing a lot of sellers step in. And so that's why I'm more apt to say, all right, it could continue because you did see volume step in. But looking at the actual chart itself, it looks like it wants to drop.
we're getting there.
You know, similar.
You're right. You know, so
You know, and that's what I would do. That's what it's not financial advice, but that's what I would do. So you do it. You do you.
for what I do respect what you're saying. You know, I should like the right thing to do right now is to de-risk. So you call it,
I'm just adjusting.
100% nailed it, but I'm gonna give you the respect. Here,
Can hear me at least. Why would you not? Change up my microphone feed, and that's yeah.
Coming through on the
Guys, I'm going to feed down. All right, everybody. I'm just gonna be broadcasting to restart the system. Post the link to our, I probably won't be back. Can't even hear me. It's the damnedest thing.